the Stroggs. Forged from the remnants of their conquests, they are a fusion of steel and circuitry, designed solely for war and annihilation. In their relentless quest for dominance, they employ a rather macabre methodology. Any biological organism, regardless of its origin, is deemed fit for their stroggification, a ghastly process where the organic is melded with cold steel and intricate circuits. The indiscriminate nature of their selection showcases their profound detachment from empathy or any form of moral grounding. Their once resplendent homeworld, Stroggos, is now a lamentable sight. The planet, which once boasted opulent landscapes, slowly crumbled under the weight of excessive industrialization driven by their ceaseless war machinery. With resources on Stroggos dwindling at an alarming rate, the Strogg, in their voracious quest for expansion, ventured into the cosmos, searching for new worlds to plunder and life forms to assimilate. The Strogg's most potent weapon, the jewel in their arsenal, was the slipgate technology. This intricate system allowed them to bridge vast distances instantaneously, obliterating the constraints of time and space. No longer tethered by the mundane limitations of transport, they harnessed the element of surprise, overwhelming their foes before they could muster any meaningful response. Wave after unrelenting wave of Strogg would pour forth from these portals, leaving devastation in their wake. As their empire expanded, they set their sights on countless planets, consuming every scrap of life to fuel their relentless expansion and quench their insatiable thirst for conquest. Humanity's first encounter with the Strogg occurred during the Slipgate experiments led by Dr. Wendell Gilman. During these experiments, the scientist established contact with the Strogg and leveraged the insights obtained from this cybernetic race to enhance human Slipgate technology. The outcome was a more robust and refined connection, enabling human researchers to create and sustain portals between their dimension and the dreamland. The true nature of Dr. Gilman's encounter with the Stroggs remains enigmatic. Whether he directly interacted with them on their home planet, or if their paths crossed within the surreal confines of the dreamland, is a matter of speculation. Deep revelations from subsequent episodes of Quake 2 have shed light on the unfolding events. While these new pieces of information spawn various theories and generate more questions, a critical piece of intel stands out. The Stroggs may have encountered an eldritch being. This hypothesis is supported by the presence of Stroggs in what is described as an archaeological dig site. At the heart of this location lies a profound revelation, an ancient temple. This temple not only features representations of Shub-Niggurath's Dark Young, but also houses a portal leading directly to the dimension of the Doomed, the first episode of Quake 1. Could this imply that the Stroggs had access to the Dreamland? Might the Stroggs be under the sway of the eldritch entity? Furthermore, could Shub-Niggurath have orchestrated the encounter between Dr. Gilman and the Stroggs within the Dreamland, intending for them to impart their knowledge to the scientist, enabling him to open a gateway for her invasion of Earth? Regrettably, the Slipgate was seized and manipulated by the malevolent entity, who used it to unleash an army of monstrous beings upon Earth. Despite her power, a solitary marine rose to challenge her might. With her demise, the world found salvation. Yet, this came at a double cost. Not only was the Slipgate technology lost, but humanity inadvertently exposed its existence to a perilous alien race.
Makron to all Strogg, ready the fleet. Prepare for Slipgate harvesting deployment and target Terra.
Base Alpha 1 Control, this is Earth Station. We've detected anomalous signals originating from the asteroid belt. Can you confirm any scheduled tests or exercises in that sector?
Over the subsequent 69 years, humanity flourished and expanded. enjoying an era of unparalleled growth and prosperity. Little did we realize, humankind was on the verge of extinction. When in 2065, chaos reigned from the sky. The Strogg had arrived to our world.
The space station has just been destroyed. Oh my God.
Without hesitation, they began their onslaught, killing or capturing every living being they come across. Humanity had initially thought the invaders were after Earth's natural resources, but the grim reality became evident soon enough. They were here for human flesh. At the onset, the Stroggs held a clear advantage, ruthlessly harvesting the population and wreaking havoc. However, they were soon confronted by the formidable defense forces of the GDF. This confrontation saw the tide slowly turning in humanity's favor. Both factions experienced their share of victories and defeats, but the GDF began to undertake audacious missions targeting Strogg technology. As the years of conflict progressed, humanity's knowledge grew exponentially with every piece of equipment stolen. Most significantly, humans managed to confiscate a Strogg slipgate. This, combined with radar analyses of active Strogg slipgates, provided crucial insights into its intricate workings.
Makron, intel suggests the humans are developing an EMP weapon, awaiting advice.
The conflict reached its peak during the Pacific Campaign, centered on a volcanic island in New Zealand. There, the GDF employed an outlying geothermal facility in a daring attempt to forge an atmospheric EMP weapon. Their goal was clear: to repel the Strogg from Earth's orbit and decisively halt the alien invasion. After enduring years of relentless warfare, humanity, against all odds, managed to repel the Strogg, pushing them not just off Earth, but out of the solar system entirely. Countless cities lay in ruins, millions of lives snuffed out in an act of unprecedented, savage brutality. Despite the hard-won victory, a shadow of dread lingered. What if the Stroggs returned? Could Earth's defenders withstand another assault? There was a growing realization that another invasion could spell the end of our world. Confronting the Stroggs at their source, especially in their current weakened state, was imperative. Determinedly, humankind sought to harness the very technology the invaders used. By utilizing the captured slipgate and combining insights from the analysis of the Stroggs' operational ones, preparations were made to bring the battle to Stroggos. The invaders would pay dearly for what they've done.
Greetings to the people of the Coalition. Flag Admiral Crockett here, transmitting from the bridge deck of Phobos. We're approaching the outer orbits of Stroggos, the Strogg's homeland. Our intel indicates the atmosphere is inhospitable, but breathable. Gear up for planetfall. Engage your debriefing panels if necessary.
Boomer, drop X-ray squad in 30 on my mark. You copy?
Roger that. Okay, boys and girls, you see the clock on your heads up. To the mirror. For anyone who upchucks during bounce and roll.
Mission briefing. Establish an uplink with Strogg communication.
Oh my God, look at the size of this thing. I never signed up for this, man. Let's just get this over with. Quick in, quick out.
Bypass defenses and neutralize the big gun. Deactivate the Interplanetary gateway to halt Strogg assaults on Earth. Infiltrate the palace and eliminate the Makron.
Report to all Stroggs. Enemies approach our territory. Prepare for combat. Power up all defenses. Activate the EMP.
The fuck was that? Mayday! Mayday! Lost all power!
rest of our pod. Shit, multiple enemies on approach. Oh, it's on fire. I can't breathe. Shielding failed. Miss D's. What kind of EMP is it? Us out. We're dropping like fine.
Incoming message from TCM Marine Commander James.
Greetings to the people of the Coalition. We have cleared the interplanetary gateway between Earth and Stroggos. In exactly 3 hours, Operation Alien Overlord will commence. As I speak to you, your pods are being fueled, and all systems brought online. Activate your field computers.
Operation Alien Overlord. Intelligence briefing.
The core of the Strogg civilization is the capital city of Cerberon. Thanks to the invaluable work of our recon teams, we've gathered crucial intelligence on Stroggos. The planet bears some similarity to Earth, but it's a barren wasteland. Stroggos is orbited by 3 moons, each hosting Strogg bases. They maintain several space stations in orbit around the planet, with a fleet of ships for supply and reinforcement. The core of the Strogg civilization is the capital city of Cerberon. The highly defended complex is built into the base of an enormous crater named Crater Majoris. Between the northern plains and the southern sea of Stroggos, Cerberon contains the major defense, communication, and political controls for the Strogg civilization. At the southern tip of Majoris is a second crater called Crater Minor. Crater Minor contains the defense base complex for the city of Cerberon.
Stroggos Defense System.
Guarding Stroggos is a defense system we refer to as the Big Gun. This weapon detects and destroys any ship over a few meters in length. Once the communication link is made, subsequent communications will guide troops to their primary targets, destroy targets of opportunity, and provide necessary ground support for the follow-up airstrike. Be ready for anything. We've seen the Strogg's capabilities back on Earth, but now we're in their territory. Expect to encounter Strogg far bigger and more dangerous than the grunts we faced during the war. With confidence in you, and with the unbending determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph.
Soldiers, we stand on the precipice of a battle that will define our legacy. We've watched our brothers and sisters fall, our homes threatened, and our resolve tested. 200,000 men, 200,000 paths to vengeance, 200,000 ways to make the Stroggs regret ever attacking our home. So load your weapons, look to the person next to you, and make peace with whatever gods you believe in. Because today, we put out their world. Shielding failed. This is easy. Behind the PMPs. Us out. They're dropping like flies.
Just landed, and all I see are bodies. Damn Stroggs didn't spare any of them. It's like walking through a graveyard. Okay, get yourselves back together, Bitterman. Yes, they said to find that comm tower, link up with the orbital fleet. Gotta be more survivors out here. Can't be just me left.
Amidst the unstable atmosphere of Stroggos, the big gun's onslaught proved devastating for the Marine forces. As they descended, the weapons disrupted most of the pod's commands, turning them into metal coffins. Of those that did land, most Marines were brutally slaughtered by the Stroggs, dragged out of their capsules and executed without a second thought. Others were less fortunate, taken prisoner for unknown but certainly grim fate.
Marines, we're at 5% ground.
From the scattered remains of this surprise offensive, only a few names emerged as survivors: Bitterman, Joker, and Stepchild. Initially, Bitterman's mission was to land on the outskirt of the Big Gun installation with orders to infiltrate and neutralize it. However, things did not go as planned. He lost control of his drop pod and ended up miles away, stranded at an outer defense base well beyond the planned landing zone. Bitterman, of the 101st Spaceborne, carried a heavy heart into battle. The Stroggs' merciless invasion of Earth robbed him of his family. Haunted yet determined, he joined Operation Alien Overlord, setting his sights on the Strogg capital, seeking retribution. Operation Overlord aims to dismantle the Strogg war machine through a four-pronged approach, establishing a communication link with the orbiting fleet, disabling the planetary defense system, destroying the black hole generator, and ultimately assassinating the Makron. It is believed that the Strogg function through a centralized command system led by the Makron, who is elected from a cadre of warlords, each responsible for a strategic aspect or location within their civilization. While this system provides them with operational efficiency, it also makes them vulnerable. Eliminating the Makron would plunge the Strogg into internal chaos and strife, weakening their overall power structure and amplifying the impact of upcoming assaults. Upon landing, the sight of bodies strewn across the ground bore witness to the relentless slaughter unleashed by the Stroggs. The disorganized and disoriented Marines had been overwhelmed, caught in a nightmare from which there was no escape. Yet, despite his solitude, Bitterman found a surprisingly clear path to the communication center. It was as if the Strogg had underestimated the persistence of human resistance in this remote sector. Thus, the forces deployed here were not of the highest caliber. Most common were Strogg guards, unfortunate souls who were once human, presumably captured during the invasion of Earth. These individuals had undergone a gruesome transformation known as Stroggification, wherein their brains were subjugated to the will of the Stroggs and their bodies augmented with mechanical enhancements. In addition to these guards, enforcers and gunners were also stationed in the area. While not as formidable as some of the Strogg's elite units, these warriors were nonetheless not to be taken lightly, especially the gunners, who had a bad habit of lobbing a barrage of grenades, turning them into living arsenals. Not far from where Bitterman found himself, yet still at a considerable distance, Stepchild crash-landed in the industrial sector of Cerberon. His point of impact was within a vast mining facility, one of the few remaining places on Stroggos where resources can still be extracted. Here, the Stroggs are focused on mining two key crystals, stedium and thalite, both critical to the Strogg war machine. The thalite is used by the Strogg for military applications, crafting it into munitions and explosive devices. Conversely, stedium plays a versatile role within Strogg society. Not only does it power a wide array of systems, but it's also a component in rock drilling machines and laser devices. Its aesthetic qualities have even earned it a place as decorative material in prestigious locations, emphasizing its dual importance as both a functional and valuable resource.
All units confirm tectonic stabilizer target out.
One notable example of a machine powered by stedium is the tectonic stabilizer. Those colossal marvel of Strogg engineering were deployed all over the planet inner layer, designed to temper the environment's violent natural tendencies, quelling earthquakes, lava eruptions, and other geological outbursts. Neutralizing it required disabling its stedium-powered energy supplies and critical cooling components. Disabling all these systems will unleash a wave of geological chaos, a prime chance to land a devastating blow on the Stroggs. While Stepchild was initially part of Operation Alien Overlord, his focus is abruptly shifted to confronting a new and formidable Strogg threat, the Gravity Well. This colossal device has the capacity to project a potent cone of artificially high gravity into the cosmos. Its primary function, to entrap any ships in orbit around the planet, rendering them unable to escape or retaliate. The urgency is further underscored when we discover the primary objective assigned to another surviving Marine, known as Joker. Part of the elite Foxtrot squad, Joker's mission diverges from the original focus of Bitterman and Stepchild. While Operation Overlord is centralized in Cerberon's capital, Joker's agenda unfolds in an unspecified region, still under the protection of the Planetary defense system. The primary objective? To locate the hidden Strogg counterfleet, a formidable armada gearing up to assail Earth forces. This pivotal detail, the fleet's exact location, remains elusive to command, making it the initial goal of Joker and his team.
Of all the arid wastelands on this miserable planet, I just had to luck out and land in a swamp. Go figure. I came across the corpses of some squad members, but their wounds don't look like Strogg handiwork. Makes me think these laser fences weren't set up just for land demarcation.
The Gex, amphibious creatures prone to leaping attacks and spitting acid. They are skilled in swimming, having no qualms diving into the swampy waters to continue their pursuit. Among the heavily industrialized and polluted landscapes of Stroggos, the Gex, along with the barracuda shark and mutant, are among the rare remnants of the planet's native fauna. Blocked by the laser fence, Joker has no choice but to navigate through the sewer system in an attempt to reunite with his squad, waiting for him in the outer compound area.
Makron to all Stroggs. We have detected a lone human exiting our comm tower. I am deploying elite forces to secure our critical assets. Under no circumstances, should he make it through the jail complex. Understand this, he is alone. Fail to stop him and you'll face far worse than reprocessing.
With Bitterman successfully establishing a communication link between the orbital fleet and the ground forces, Phase 1 of Operation Alien Overlord comes to a close. Standing between him and Phase 2 are miles of Strogg-controlled territory, teeming with fortified emplacements, sprawling warehouse complexes, factories and industrial zones. To approach the big gun, a lethal laser field that guards both the weapon and the Strogg capital city must first be neutralized. The computer controlling this laser defense is situated in a secure vault, located beneath the jail complex to the south of the big gun.
Those metalheads yanked the power supplies to stall me. Command says there are replacements in the same area as a supply train. Perfect. I can hit two birds with one stone. They think this will slow me down. We're in for a surprise.
A network of warehouses filled to the brim with military supplies feeds into an intricate train system who distributes essential goods across the many regions of Stroggos. After battling his way through enforcers, gunners, and blade-armed berserkers, he finally reached the control room for the supply train. Upon sabotaging the vital supply line, Bitterman comes face to face with a force unlike any he's encountered before, the Strogg tanks. These hulking titans, bristling with rocket launchers and chain guns, are not just soldiers, they are war machines. Far more mechanical than biological, their very presence on the battlefield is a harbinger of doom, usually signifying a stronghold or asset of immense importance to the Strogg cause. The sight of these mechanical monstrosities signals to Bitterman that he's approaching a critical nexus of Strogg power. And as he's about to discover, their deployment here is no coincidence. His next target, the enigmatic jail center, is of utmost significance. Home to the computer core that controls the Strogg's entire defense grid, this facility also serves as a detention center for human prisoners of war. For Bitterman, this bleak complex is more than just another objective. It's a golden opportunity to gather desperately needed reinforcements and strike a decisive blow against the Strogg.
expecting the prisoners to make a dash for it, to join the fight. But they just stand there, hollow-eyed and broken, mumbling the same phrases over and over again. Make it stop. It hurts. They don't even seem to notice I'm here. Whatever the Strogg have done to them, they've shattered something inside these men.
Their sanity has been eroded, not merely by captivity, but by calculated and cruel torture. Though they were still breathing, the prisoners were beyond rescue. He couldn't leave them here. He knew Strogg reinforcements would flood back into the area soon enough. And with the planet's defense system still operational, evacuation was out of the question.
Personnel copying this transmission. Rendezvous at designated points Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
All dead. I would be too if I hadn't landed in that swamp. I've got to make it to their intelligence center. Can't let my squad's deaths be in vain. I'll make sure of it.
The objective remained unchanged. He had to take the data disk to the intelligence center to reveal the location of the counterattack fleet. While they may not appear immediately threatening, appearances can be deceiving. Utilized to store vital information, spread computer viruses, or run specific programs, data disks are crucial tools that were used both during Earth invasion and on Stroggos. Stepchild is tasked with acquiring one such disk. Unlike Joker, who intends to use the data disk to uncover essential intelligence, Stepchild needs to link it with Earth's fleet so they can load it with a specialized virus. Once secured, the Marine is tasked to inject this virus into the Strogg's air-to-ground communication network, throwing it into chaos. The consequences of destroying the Strogg stabilizer were unmistakable. Collapsed walls and ceilings testified to the machine's role in maintaining the structural integrity of the Strogg facilities. Stepchild finds himself navigating through a similar area that Bitterman had traversed not so long ago. However, the situation has changed significantly as we soon uncover that the facility is now locked with high-level security measures. Additionally, the Strogg forces deployed in the area have been significantly upgraded, now boasting much more powerful units such as medics, gladiators, and an elite tank commander. But in a stroke of dark fortune, fate intervened. The main gate was blasted open by a crashing drop pod, shot down by a gladiator in mid-air. The pod contained a Marine who was supposed to rendezvous with Stepchild. While the details of his mission remained murky, evidence inside the nearby detention block hinted at a potential rescue mission. Although we may never fully understand the importance of those captives, Stepchild seized the opportunity, taking the tank commander's head to gain access to the locked area. Sabotaging the Strogg's air-to-ground communication systems would provide a crucial advantage once the big gun is destroyed. Deprived of their primary planetary defense, the Strogg would lean on their flying units to intercept Earth's incoming airstrikes. Disrupting their communication channels would throw their aerial defense into chaos, giving Earth's forces a significant edge in executing precise aerial assaults.
After squaring off with those tanks, I thought I'd finally have clear access to the system core. Then the walls started flashing and the ground began to shake. Oh my God.
Bitterman came face to face with one of Stroggos' mightiest warrior, the Super Tank. This monstrosity is a heavily armed juggernaut, a veritable fortress on treads. On one side, it features a heavy chain gun, while on the other, a rocket launcher is ready for action. Additionally, Grenade-launching mechanisms are cleverly integrated into its tracks. In contrast, Joker faced an even grimmer situation. He had to battle not one, but two super tanks, both of which were fortified with additional power shields for enhanced durability.
Strogg Intelligence data files downloaded.
Counterfleets on the moon of this godforsaken rock? Great. Well, guess I need to find myself a ride.
After Joker discovered that the counterfleet was stationed on Stroggos' moon, and Stepchild successfully disrupted the Strogg's air-to-ground communication systems, all eyes turned to Bitterman. He had managed to disable the defense grid protecting the big gun, opening a vital window of opportunity. Now, the onus falls squarely on him to pave the way for Earth's military to finally utilize a previously unusable asset: the airstrike markers. Placing these markers at key locations will provide exact coordinates for targeted strikes from Earth's air forces. But before any of that can happen, the big gun must be rendered inoperative.
Mercy be begging, please, it won't happen again.
I was not informed about these other humans sooner. Seal off the mine entrance immediately. Reinforce the research hangars. Guardian, you're reassigned to protect the big gun. I'll tolerate no further failures.
Bitterman found himself at the heart of the industrial complex, a sprawling labyrinth of destruction and decay. The complex was a hub of Strogg activity, featuring mine entrances, factories, and processing plants. Most crucially, it offered a route to the planetary defense system. The mines themselves stood as a bleak testament to the Strogg's insatiable greed. Overexploited and barren, the upper levels had been stripped of their precious crystals, leaving only the deeper recesses with any remaining deposits. To venture deeper was to face not just the Stroggs, but also the mutants that had infested the lower levels, doubling the hazards that lurked within. The mine was sprawling, extending far to the west of Cerberon, even harboring the rare thalite mineral in its deeper regions. Further to the north, closer to the big gun, was the power plant. Taking it out could cripple the Strogg's operations, as it served as the lifeblood for multiple facilities in and around Cerberon. But before setting sights on that objective, there was another, more disturbing place to confront: the factory. Here, in this nightmarish hub of the industrial complex, Bitterman would face the pinnacle of Strogg malevolence.
We have confirmed visual on troops being disassembled.
As I walked through the facility, the stench hit me like a wall. Burned hair and rotting flesh. At first, I thought it might be animal remains, some twisted Strogg experiment. But then I saw it. Human body parts. Arms, legs, heads, strewn about like discarded trash. And then I saw them. Marines, my brothers in arms, in the throes of a machine designed to crush life itself, reducing them to a liquid pulp. I need to stop this nightmare.
Here, he encounters the nauseating truth behind Strogg's production, a chemical so vile, it's made from the macerated remains of their victims and fallen comrades. It wasn't just food, it was the fuel that powered their entire society. Their biotech vehicles, their sentry devices, their weaponry, their ammunition. In this abysmal factory, the living and the dead are doomed to share the same fate. The Strogg use their captives for a variety of cruel purposes and do not hesitate to extinguish any form of defiance. It's no mystery why they would prioritize fresh specimens over decomposing ones. The deteriorating post-mortem cells and tissues offer an inferior yield, as nutrients quickly vanish or get gobbled up by microorganisms. Furthermore, maintaining them alive and imprisoning them provides the Strogg with the option to send these captives to several other locations for varying objectives. Those who are spared and not immediately used are transferred to the prison system, where they are mentally and psychically tortured until their minds shatter into nothingness. This guarantees that when they are finally forced through the process, they will put up little to no fight, making this unspeakable operation quicker.
All this pain and suffering, just to end up as their damn food? No more. Think they're superior? That we're expendable? I'll show these bastards what humans are really made of.
Warriors, battle walkers, everything. Station 1 is shut down.
Station 2 is disabled. Our reactor is overheating.
No, it's impossible.
The human is entering the planetary defense system and running us.
All Stroggs converge on him. Guard him. Kill him. Do not let him pass.
Bastards are gonna wish they never messed with humanity. Every Marine they took down, every man and women they slaughtered. They're gonna pay, and pay hard. I won't rest until I see the Makron's head severed from his body. For my brothers. For my family.
Largest spike in Big Gun area explosion.
Hard to believe. This behemoth, this engine of destruction that cut through us like we were nothing, it's finally silent. All those lives, shattered in an instant, and for what? If only we'd known what awaited us on this forsaken rock.
The McCulloch space station has just been destroyed.
Peeker, sorry I sent you out beyond the drone distance parameter. Overcautious since the incident. Now you're non-functional and waiting for a replacement neurosite. Strange being droneless, lonely even with perpetual Strogg communication. Data Brain, my drone is still offline. As long as you're inert, it's more rational to record to you anyway. My deployment was cancelled. What is an infiltrator without its drone? Cerberon seems empty. Almost all Strogg were sent to harvest the humans. It is quiet.
As these brave soldiers took the fight to the Stroggs.
TCS Lagoon to TC Command. Slipgate transit successful. Stroggos atmospheric incursion successful. Alien Overlord is go. Repeat, Alien Overlord is go.
Gravity well online. Strogg fleet ready for an
Power surge in planetary defenses. We're not reading. EMP!
Planetary defense system online. Data Brain. Today it rained food.
Mayday! Lost all power!
Our EMP generator disabled hundreds of their assault pods in one burst. My new directive, search for intact humans and bring them to receiving. Bring all other human components to processing. I'm grateful for the work, even if it is tedious. I have identified no survivors.
This thing's even recorded. It looks like a few internal systems rebooted off the emergency life support battery, but I don't have screens to tell me which ones. All major systems are offline. Patch release failed. So did the emergency backup because this pod's a piece of shit, and I'm going to die in here without firing a goddamn
Data Brain, a guard reported a lone human survivor advancing toward the outer base. Makron has ordered all units to kill it on sight, except me. As the sole infiltrator left in Cerberon, my duty is to surveil the human and record its death. Makron gave me specific instructions not to engage the human in combat under any circumstance. Only me, irrational, but I cannot question it even if Makron seems deranged.
This is Unit Alpha 808, Lance Corporal Athena Hayes, Terran Coalition Marine Expeditionary Force recording.
It seems unstoppable. It has disposed of hundreds of Strogg.
Location unknown. Trapped in drop pod. Sounds of engagement audible but distant and fading.
The human single-handedly assaulted the incarceration complex and disabled the security grid. This should not be possible. I could stop the human. It has likely never encountered an infiltrator. It would not detect me. But I cannot question Makron. Makron sees what I am seeing. I cannot. I must. Makron, human has disabled EMP generator. To all warlords, surviving humans are making their way to your sectors. The gravity well is being targeted for destruction. One is attempting to reach the moon base. Lock down every entry point to our ships. This one is not like the others. I shall take care of it myself.
While the destruction of the planetary defense system marks a significant victory for Earth's forces, the mission is far from complete. The black hole generator remains active. The gravity well still ensnares human capital ships within the planet's atmosphere. The Strogg counterfleet is nearing readiness, and perhaps most crucially, the Makron is still breathing.
We establish contact with ground unit and paint us a clean target.
Although there is still much to be accomplished, Bitterman, Stepchild, and Joker now have access to a new asset, the airstrike marker. Stepchild receives orders to target a crucial anti-aircraft cannon. The successful elimination of this defense will grant Earth's air forces much-needed breathing room in the skies above. While the demolition of the cannon is a crucial step in weakening Strogg defenses, it's a task that pales in comparison to the importance of the asset it shields. The research hangars are particularly noteworthy as they house an experimental Strogg fighter. Though its capabilities are not fully understood, the urgency from command to capture it suggests that it's far more potent than standard models. For Stepchild, seizing this experimental fighter serves a dual purpose, eliminating a threat to humanity and also securing a way back to Earthfleet once the gravity well is neutralized.
We establish contact with ground unit and paint us a clean target.
Meanwhile, Joker is tasked with deploying an airstrike on the Strogg refinery, a critical structure that fuels the enemy's counterfleet efforts. This refinery sits adjacent to a strategic hub, the spaceport. Serving as a vital transit point, the spaceport facilitates the movement of materials across the planet and shuttles supplies to the moon base. Given its significance, security is predictably tight. Joker will need to ingeniously stow away on a Strogg ship, blending in undetected to carry out his mission. However, a twist of fate complicates matters. The airstrike marker crucial for destroying the fuel container is nowhere to be found.
Pack leader to recon. 4 airstrike markers stolen by Gek raiding party. Gek's heading back to industrial complex.
You've got to be kidding me. The Geks have stolen the airstrike marker. Command is tracking them. They move fast. Now they're at the water treatment plant and back in the swamp. Well, shit.
To Joker's frustration, the Geks have run off with the marker, retreating deep into their sanctuaries. This section of the swamp bears a strong resemblance to the areas he previously navigated upon his landing, yet there is a notable increase in Gek activity. While the spaceport is essential for transportation logistics, there exists an even more critical facility in terms of the Strogg's offensive capabilities, the Cerberon hangar sector. Nestled in the heart of the Strogg capital, serves as the nerve center for their fleet operations. It is here where Bitterman sets his sights as Operation Alien Overlord advances into its third phase, the destruction of the black hole generator. Should the Marines succeed in disabling the black hole generator, the consequences would be twofold. Not only would it cripple the Strogg's capacity for extraplanetary invasion, but it would also sever Earth's forces from their homeward path, possibly stranding them on Stroggos. The return journey could be exceedingly prolonged, echoing the extensive 69 years it took for the Strogg to send their slipgate to Earth after initially detecting human existence.
I need one of those damned Commander biochip. No choice now. It's either backtracking or pushing into the research lab. I can't shake this weird feeling about this place. I'm sure I caught a snippet of human voices behind that door.
They don't ask questions. They never do. They take our flesh, studied while still awake, never really die. The horrors, our minds, help me, ask them to help me, but they won't. Make it stop, it hurt. Please, make it stop, fast again. It hurt. Kill me. Our minds, make it stop.
This segment of the base unveils once again disturbing vision to the Strogg's barbarity. Marines are detained here, but not for the familiar reasons of subjugation or nourishment. Instead, they are exposed to chilling experiments. All seems related to pain and dismemberment. We can assume that every species the Strogg have encountered was brought to this location for an exhaustive analysis, uncovering their inner workings and learning as much as possible for better assimilation. This is the crucible where the most unspeakable nightmares are forged, and those nightmares roam freely here, personified by the Strogg's most horrific creations. Most unnerving are the parasites, monstrous crossbreeds of canine and humanoid, fitted with nightmarish, semi-organic tubes tipped with sharp metal points. These tubes are hurled with precision, designed to pierce their victim, draining away their life essence until all that's left is a lifeless husk. But the parasites are far from alone in their uniqueness. The brains, wretched abominations of flesh and horrors, wield similar appendages with equal sadism. These tendrils not only draw life from their victims, but also ensnare and pull them into the reach of their razor-sharp hooks. As if this weren't cruel enough, they also possess a chilling ability to emit lasers from their eyes, marking them as deadly threats at any range. Among the grotesqueries in the Strogg's arsenal, the medics stand out with a particularly macabre function. Resembling centaurs, these abominations are equipped with tubes eerily reminiscent of their terrifying kin. But instead of siphoning vitality, they use these appendages to reanimate fallen Strogg comrades, indiscriminately breathing life into whatever corpse they find. Yet, even more harrowing, a more potent variant, is the medic commander. This malevolent entity can not only resurrect, but also summon fresh Strogg reinforcements through a portal-like ability.
Data Brain, Peter and I have tracked the human. It is a good drone. I exalt Makron for my new mission. Cerberon has been so dull since the second wave deployment. Most remaining here are former Grice, and transforming them to Strogg requires removal of most of the neocortex, so they do not communicate much. They mostly stand around in odd places, waiting for an enemy target. Sometimes any target. The human is the only entertainment.
The disturbing technological strides made by the Stroggs spark chilling inquiries about their roots. Over centuries, their true appearance would have become obscured, lost amidst a blend of technological grafts and myriads of assimilated species. It's inferred that the Stroggs were not always these monstrous machines. One theory suggests that they were once a more peaceful civilization, which underwent a drastic transformation when war-focused leaders seized control. This shift in governance would escalate without being stopped, reshaping their entire civilization into one centered around technology and assimilation. Another hypothesis posits that the Strog's peaceful ancestors might have unearthed some dark, corrupting power. This malevolent force would have infected their society, enslaving them to the horrors we see today. A different line of speculation delves into the realm of creation. Some believe the Strogg were engineered by another race or entity. In these narratives, their creators either vanished mysteriously, were annihilated by their own creation, or are still present, but not in our world.
Makron, the human is nearing inner hangar. Makron, request immediate permission to process human.
You know, I wasn't supposed to be here. Lainey, she was the one who was going to be a soldier. Global Defense Force officer. Follow in the footsteps, family tradition. Make mom and dad proud. They groomed her entire life for this. And she washes out 3 weeks from graduation. Didn't even try to hide that she'd done it on purpose.
The war on Stroggos has largely been chronicled through the harrowing experiences of 3 tenacious Marines. However, Quake Champions widens the narrative lens, bringing forth 2 intriguing new viewpoints. The clandestine maneuvers of Infiltrator 1815, who finds himself curiously restrained from attacking Bitterman, and the unfortunate fate of Athena, who despite her adverse circumstances, has managed to survive. During the Earth invasion, Infiltrator units mastered subterfuge. They hacked systems, teleported past barriers, and could even disguise themselves to look exactly like those they'd captured. Stealthy and armed with blades for quiet kills, infiltrators were silent but deadly foes. Their most critical tool was the drone, part spy camera, part bomb, perfect for scouting and sabotage. Now, after suffering heavy losses during the Earth invasion, only one of their kind remains, marking him as a rare and valuable asset in the ongoing conflict. Then we meet Athena. Born into a military family, she joined the Terran coalition of man, driven by a quest for purpose and the desire to live up to her family's legacy, one her sister had abandoned. Her training was abruptly halted by the Strogg's assault on Earth, and years later, she found herself deployed to Stroggos as part of Operation Alien Overlord. Once mirroring Earth in its vibrant diversity, Stroggos now lies as a striking example to the ravages of unchecked and extensive industrialization. Its transformation into an environmental wasteland manifests the Strogg's profound indifference to their once thriving planet. This is most evident when Stepchild has to find a new way to the research hangar after destroying the anti-aircraft gun. Located across a lava-filled canyon, the hangar containing the Strogg's experimental fighter had its bridge locked from the other side. Fortunately, luck was with him.
Primary target, immediate airstrike.
The destruction of the anti-aircraft gun had broken a pipe, opening an unforeseen route across the perilous chasm. Driven by a colossal radioactive reactor, the facility is a hotbed of dangerous experimentation, churning out immense volumes of hazardous waste. This waste is first sealed in containment pods and then buried deep underground. However, this is merely a prelude to its final destructive chapter. The waste is ultimately consigned to the fiery depths of lava pools, unleashing plumes of toxic fumes ventilated to the outside. Beyond the limits of Cerberon, a semblance of environmental responsibility can be uncovered near the refinery in the industrial sector. Here, the water treatment plant deals with heavily polluted water, necessitating extensive treatment to lower its toxicity for what is deemed a safer release. Safer is a relative term, however, as evidenced by the heavy mutations observed in the local fauna, which have suffered significantly due to the ongoing pollution. For Joker, there's no time to dwell on these environmental tragedies, as he's immediately thrust into a desperate fight for survival against the relentless Gex.
I've tracked them to their den. Every corner of this planet has its surprises. They've placed the marker atop a stone pedestal, treating it with reverence as if it's some sacred relic. And now they're chanting? At this point, I shouldn't even be surprised.
With the mission accomplished, Command informed Joker of a new plan. The hangars served as the main hub of a significant starport, where the Strogg dispatched shipments to their moon base. Intelligence has detected supplies being loaded onto a ship, but its main hatch is blocked by a force field. If Joker could sneak into the cargo, he could board the ship undetected and take control of it once inside. The nature of the cargo explained how the security won't detect him. Captured Marines, likely remnants from Joker's earlier assault, their fate and purpose for being sent alive to the moon base remain unclear. Perhaps the Strogg have special laboratories, factories, or Stroyant production facilities dedicated to that base. Their fate will remain a mystery.
Ugh, the smell. Who knows how many have died in this crate? Never in a million drills did I picture winding up in a mess like this. Once the ship reaches space, I'll have to find the bridge as quickly as possible before the whole crew knows I'm here.
The freighter's key sections were defined by function. The engineering bay, the heart of operations, the cargo hold, packed with supplies and, in this case, Marines. The security block, with prisoner cells and security systems. The medical bay for emergencies, and the vital system core, a nexus of the ship's operations. Command was held on the bridge, Joker's imminent target. It's here that tanks and gunners orchestrated the freighter's operations. Should the entire bridge crew be neutralized, the ship's self-destruct sequence would begin, leaving Joker mere moment to stop it.
Came across a tank commander being repaired. I was able to grab his head before heading back to the hangar. But, I don't know. There's this strange sensation of someone or something watching me.
Bitterman has now secured a commander biochip which grants him passage through the hangar. But before he can seal the hangar doors, a familiar foe emerges. Another Hornet. Armed to the teeth with dual chain guns for relentless firing and an underslung rocket launcher capable of launching 4 rockets simultaneously, the Hornet is part of the Strogg's elite forces, which include formidable entities such as the Super Tank. Despite their immense power, these units don't seem to be regarded as warlords, but rather as advanced combat vehicles. Their design is a fusion of machinery with what remains of their organic bodies, melded seamlessly to create deadly hybrids of flesh and technology. In this echelon of might, Stepchild is soon to confront another fearsome adversary, the Carrier. This behemoth boasted an arsenal of weapon systems, from twin chain guns and rail guns to grenade and quad rocket launchers. Moreover, it possessed the unsettling ability to summon flyers to its aid or hurl them like homing missiles that detonated upon impact.
Recon Zulu 10 acquired experimental Strogg fighter, prep for liftoff.
Having vanquished the Carrier, Stepchild witnessed the Strogg fighter prototype ascend from a concealed hatch, its formidable design making clear why High Command had prioritized its capture. Now, with the advanced craft in Allied hands and his escape assured, he could focus on the primary objective. neutralizing the gravity well. The device's colossal nature defied simple ballistic destruction. Instead, High Command had determined that an antimatter bomb would be required to ensure the mission's success. Consequently, Stepchild's next directive led him to a major Strogg munitions facility to procure such a weapon. Inside the facility, the manufacture of antimatter bombs was not a matter of simply picking one off the shelf. Stepchild needed to forge the bomb's antimatter core and containment pod, utilizing the Strogg's own manufacturing equipment, which employed theolite crystals.
Makron, human has disabled hangar doors. Advise. Makron, human has entered launch command. Advise. Makron, I do not understand runes or magic. Clarify. Request immediate permission to process human. Advise.
Been stuck in this tin coffin for, days now. Still undetected by Strogg, which is a plus. And also undetected by TC forces if there are any left. Which means suffocation or starvation when LS systems finally run out of juice, probably soon, so yeah, that's maybe less of a plus.
There it is. Strogg's most valuable technology. Who knows how much time they've used it, how much worlds they've consumed. If only our scientists could look at it and study its workings. The command was clear. Destroy it. It's too dangerous to be left standing.
The generator's lifeblood is a colossal CPU tied to an elaborate grid of coolant pipes, all orchestrated by a central computer system. Complicating Bitterman's advance, the installation is heavily guarded. The narrow corridors and limited room to maneuver, amplified by the threat of powerful enemies, only complicate matters. The focus shifts to Joker's mission. Heavy Strogg presence and the noticeable change in gravity welcome him as he steps into the moon base. Ahead lies his crucial goal, infiltrating the command center to shut down the 4 induction coils and initiate the reactor's overload. However, the straightforward route leading to the reactor control is blocked. This forces him to reroute through a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The floor is frozen, rendering each step a precarious endeavor as guards open fire, but this also allows for unexpected agility and enhanced movement.
Command, I have eyes on the reactor shutdown switch, but something's not right. It's the Makron?
All units, we have target confirmation for EOD on enemy launch computers and black hole generator.
Makron, human is nearing singularity generator.
What if this is exactly what the Strogg wanted? Taking down their black hole generator, ensuring no one else gets their hands on it. Stranding us here on Stroggos, no reinforcements coming, leaving us isolated.
Negative, Joker. Our readings say the Makron is still in Cerberon Palace. That must have been one of their warlords.
Well, he was sure tough to take down. Command, I have a bad feeling about this. What if we're mistaken? Operation Alien Overlord, their leaderships. What if they can just build more of them?
Makron, I have sent drone to strike human target.
What if they're not what we assumed? Not just scattered units, but something more unified.
Makron, condone my self-will or advise immediately.
Starting moon-based destruction. Getting back to evac point now.
All units, we have a disable and destroy order on enemy central computers.
Pressurizing negative.
Makron, I will stop the human now. For the Strogg.
With the black hole generator now neutralized, Operation Alien Overlord entered its fourth phase. This was the prelude to the main assault, leading Bitterman to potentially the most heavily fortified stronghold on Stroggos. Leading to the palace's entrance is a rugged natural landscape marked by a large river, cliff edges, and a scattering of small caves. In this challenging terrain, Bitterman seizes an opportunity to use an airstrike marker, targeting fuel containers to clear his path. Beyond this obstacle lies the Palace of Cerberon, a stronghold unparalleled in its fortifications. Distinct from the typical Strogg architectural aesthetic, the Palace of Cerberon is adorned with details that seem almost alien to their martial nature. Carpeted floors, intricate carvings, and most notably, mysterious symbols depicting runes akin to those found on portals in the Dreamland. Navigating the fortress is a challenge. Riddled with traps, force fields, and locked, heavy doors, the palace itself forced Bitterman to embark on a search for keys and consoles within its bowels to get past these barriers.
Gravity well identified, green light to disable and destroy at all cost. Priority Alpha.
Stepchild, having meticulously assembled the antimatter bomb, was now at the most critical juncture of his mission, the gravity well. Planting the bomb was straightforward, but he knew the Stroggs would not leave such a critical location unguarded. The ultimate challenge lay just ahead, the Black Widow Guardian. This colossal foe cast a menacing silhouette, blocking Stepchild's path to the gravity well. She was not just a heavily armed adversary, she could also summon stalkers, escalating the threat level of her already deadly blaster and railgun fire. Though little was confirmed about her origins, the depictions on the wall suggested she might be one of the warlords of Stroggos, a theory that remained unverified.
That should do it. The communication laser is out of order. Makron is now isolated on top of his tower. Nowhere to go. For every life you've taken, this ends now. Hey, Tinhead!
Ah, the human. The one-man army. You are more tenacious than ever. You think vanquishing me will turn the tide? I am merely a fragment, a fleeting shadow before beings of unimaginable power.
Perhaps, but every giant falls one piece at a time.
Naive human. My demise would be but a ripple in the vast ocean of the Strogg's grand scheme. As for your end, I will savor every moment of your destruction, relishing in your final futile gasps. And when you are no more, rest assured, every part of you will be repurposed. And you will become one of us.
We'll see about that.
The Makron had retreated to his hideout, a fortress perched on an asteroid orbiting Stroggos. To Bitterman's dismay, a special asset awaited him there, the Jorg. This colossal exosuit, a fusion of mechanical and unknown biological components, was the Makron's chosen armor. Boasting remarkable resilience, the Jorg presented a formidable barrier. It had to be destroyed first before Bitterman could even hope to target its pilot. The Makron emerges as a towering figure of war, a seamless blend of machinery and the enigmatic remnants of an unknown being, its brain. This lone surviving organic element steers a daunting battlesuit equipped with a swift hyperblaster, a railgun positioned in place of a head, and of course, the mighty BFG.
Fight! existence is defined by war, our purpose honed for conquest, and our survival fueled by assimilation.
Try to assimilate this, you alien piece of shit!
Stepchild calling the Demos. Stepchild calling the Demos. I've planted the charges on the gravity well generator. Inform all remaining ground troops to evacuate the area.
Copy that, Stepchild. Now get out of there.
Roger. Stepchild out.
Security breach detected. You are not clear for takeoff.
Shit, I'm not going to make it. Stepchild Demos. Did it work?
Hell yes, it worked, Private. We're reporting total destruction of primary target and huge secondary chain reaction explosions all across the planet's surface. Nothing's living on that rock.
What about the others?
There aren't that many left to retrieve, Stepchild. You're one of the lucky few that made it out of that inferno in one piece.
Attention all units. Prepare to board your designated transports immediately. Operation Alien Overlord is completed. We are now commencing the main assault.
Good news in the war against Strogg. A lone Marine battled through enemy lines and killed the Strogg's leader, the Makron.
Repeat, all units to your...
He's also disabled the Strogg Planetary defense guns, so it's a ground pounder's war from here on out.
Immediate departure. The main assault on Stroggos is about to begin.
Brain, I failed. The human destroyed the singularity generator. There was a blast. I regained function after a duration. The first thing I heard was Pika circling me. I have sustained unidentified damage. Is it my neurosight?
Great. Half the viewport's blocked. Best I can tell, I'm in a stone ruin. And I mean in it. Pods stuck halfway in the wall near the ceiling. Combat happening here. I've seen more than one firefight now. Cyborgs, aliens I've never seen, and a Marine. I think an old bulky body armor. Someone new coming into... Jesus, anyone gets this record, they're gonna think I'm crazy. It's some kind of zombie? No cybernetics to keep him going. Just a goddamn walking corpse in medieval armor. This can't be real. Where the fuck am I?
I have lost communication with the Strogg. I concluded that my optoceptors were damaged because I was seeing a landscape that was not Stroggos. But remote drone vision shows the same place.
Okay, that last entry was embarrassing. Fuck. Life support's failing. Hatch still jammed. I think I can reroute power from the system still working into an electrical discharge. If I wait until one of the cyborgs is nearby, they may see it, or feel it. If not, I'll slowly suffocate or die of thirst. If they do, they'll probably try to kill me. But they'll have to break open the pod to get to me. Maybe I can survive the first blast from one of those guns. And yeah, bad odds, but I'm dead if I don't try.
The shockwave from the destroyed generator must have caused a spatial folding. I kept you safe, Databrain, and at least Peeker is here with me. We must find Stroyant.